Good evening, everyone. Hello. See if we get some more friends tonight. All right, I'm going to move the camera. This is always the fun part. So, oh yeah, because I did do that last time. I was kind of thinking I could maybe come from a different angle. Just so 100% no. Let's see. No. I wonder if I do this, how this works. Okay. I think it's going to be too close. That's good. I just lost some more leaves on my plant. This plant is not happy with me. It has perked up, but it's just like losing all its leaves. I just need to replant it, but I hope it still has leaves. Two more just fell off. Fuck. This plant. Poor plant. I love you so much. I want to give back to you the way you gave to me. I'm so sorry. Bear with me for a second. Thank you all so much for waiting. Imagine how this experience will be when I open my own yoga studio and you come to my studio for practice. And you watch me from wherever you are on the globe. Just speaking it into existence. We got the ring light over here. I think I need one over here. So I'm changing the position of the phone. I think it should be good over here. This light, how's the light? This is actually a good angle. I think it might be Alice, how's it look on the computer and on, I know Instagram's always weird, so that's always a thing. But I'm always just more concerned with how it looks on here. I don't even think I need to turn it to the side. Is my lighting good? Okay, perfect. All right, everyone. Good evening. Hello. I'm just gonna come right here. I think I probably need light behind me on the, because I think it looks darker on YouTube, doesn't it? Lighting is good. Does it look? It looks good on YouTube for real. Like, do I need another light? Because I can go get another light. Copy. So let's just have a seat right in the front. You can cross your legs. You can lay down. You can sit however you like. We're just going to have a seat for a second. Thank you for joining me this evening. If you're watching me live or if you're watching the recording, good evening. It is December 29th. It is almost the new year. And when I film again, go live and film next Tuesday, it will be, guess what? a new year according to, our like calendars. Time is fake though, y'all. Just that's who you're taking yoga from. Time is fake. Yeah, it's about to be a new year. So those intentions are real. The word this week is rejuvenation. So y'all, we're getting rejuvenated. It's new. We're coming into a whole new. Okay. It's a new year, new thought process. Never a better time to start over or just like add to what you have. Because, who's really starting over? You're just rejuvenating yourself. We all go through levels in life. So, and depending which level you're at, you've made it to that level. So I just want you to, let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. Remember, rejuvenation is the word today. If you're new, this is your first time joining or you're listening, make sure you like and subscribe to the class. I appreciate you showing up. So put our hands at heart center. We're going to start with an Om today. So we're going to just take a breath in and clear it out. So breathe in, breathe out. Another one, breathe in and out. Nice. And we're going to breathe in. And depending how you're seated and located, come onto all fours. Come on over to your mat, going onto all fours. We're just going to do some cat-cows. So on your mat, cat, and then down for cow. So just do a couple of those. Hands are flat on the floor. Spread those fingers out and push through that movement. And keep breathing. Couple more breaths. Couple more movements up and down. And come to stillness. And downward facing dog. Let's come into downward dog. When you're in down dog, you can pedal your feet out. You can stay in a neutral position. Put some bend in your knees, spread your hands, spread your fingers. Keep breathing. So you can move back and forth or you can stand still. It's whatever you feel like. Remember, yoga is what you want it to be. So it doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be a lot of different ways. Just show up to how you are. So come to a neutral position. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. And rise all the way on up to the top. Nice. And bring those hands to heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to do our sun salutations. I forgot one other thing. So let's stand at the top of the mat. Bring your hands to heart center. Apologies, I'm like misplaced stuff. And that is my bad. So we're standing at the top of the mat, hands at heart center. Raise your hands on up, sun salutation A, and fold. Come up halfway, and fold, vinyasa, step or hop back. Downward facing dog, or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. Remember, you can bend those knees so they don't have to be locked out. Your hands are nice and wide. Relax your shoulders. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Rise all the way on up to the top. And hands to heart center. We're going to do 2 more of those. So, yes, keep your flow going, breath going. The consistent is what keeps us moving. Arms up. Rejuvenation. Fold. New year. Up halfway. You're looking great. Fold. Vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Three breaths. Deep breaths. When you're doing yoga, the breaths really keep you calm. I love hot yoga normally, and when it's hot in there, it keeps you sane. It's that breath work. Bend your knees, step or hop forward. Come up halfway, fold, rise all the way on up. Hands to heart center. Nice. Hands go on up. Nice back bend and fold. Up halfway. And fold. Vinyasa. Take it on down your way. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. I'm coming down onto my forearms. Remember, you can always do what feels good in this position. I'm going to be on my forearms. If you're practicing on your forearms, if that's where you're at in your practice, you can always start by putting your elbows together and your hands on each elbow. And then that shows you when you're down, you move your hands out, and that's where your hands should be when you are in dolphin. And then you can inch forward wherever it feels good or doesn't feel good. The breath keeps the consistent. So come back into your neutral position. Bend your knees, step or hop forward. Come up halfway, fold, rise all the way on up. Beautiful. Sun bee. We're going into our sun bees. So at the top of the mat, hands together. Chair pose. And fold. Up halfway. Vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the right side. Step that right foot forward. Hands up. Your foot is at a 45-degree angle. Hips pointing forward, hands up. And you can look straight ahead, or as your mobility and everything increases in your practice, your eyes can look back. And then just start inching forward. and vinyasa. So hands on down, bring that foot down, vinyasa, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Nice. Let's step that left foot forward. Warrior one. And hands down, vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Couple breaths right here, 5 breaths. And when you're in that position, you can stay in downward dog. You can do forearm. You can do 3-legged dog, 1 leg in the air. Remember, the breath is the consistent. One more breath. Back to neutral position. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Up halfway. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Up halfway. Fold, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg forward, warrior one. And hands down, vinyasa. You can lift that leg up and float it down to your upward dog and then your downward dog. Depends where you're at. Step that left foot forward. Warrior one. Vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. Take every opportunity to insert yourself even more in your practice. So if something doesn't work for you, do what feels good and what works better in that moment. Always feel welcome to reach out to me on Instagram or email. My information will be in the description box. And step your foot down, come to neutral position. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Up halfway. And fold, vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right side. Vinyasa. Take those hands on down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And step that left foot forward. Warrior one. And hands down, vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths right here. If you really felt like it, you can go into child's pose right here. Remember, you can keep playing. Maybe do frog jumps. Come into an inversion practice right here. And come to neutral. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward. Up halfway. Fold. Chair pose. Good. Bend into that chair. Bend into that chair. It's like you're trying to sit down. And let's go into half chair. So take your hands together. You're going to bind them. You're going to turn outside so the insides of your hands are pushed out. Half chair. Your arms are by your ears. Push out and fold. You can do Malasana or practice crow pose. So I'll demo. Here's Malasana squat. Your feet are hip width apart. You know, woo, my knees today. You know, my heels don't touch the ground. But through more practice of doing this, you know, you can always get that more flexibility. You can bring your feet out wider also. So Malasana, and then there's crow pose. So crow pose, and this is always a work in progress for me. You bring your knees up onto this part of your arm, your upper arm. So hands down, your hands are nice and wide. Your feet have a little, like a fist width of room in between them. Your hands wide. I kind of you're tucking and pushing in. So that's how you achieve this pose. Maybe I'll achieve it because I just said it. Hands are wide. And you're coming up. Your kneecaps they're above your elbow. So they shouldn't be on the joint. Should be above. So you can practice just getting into the position. Just maybe lifting a foot. Just playing around like that, you know, through the practices when you get better. So from that crow pose or Malasana, Vinyasa. Vinyasa. However you can get there. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Nice. Right leg forward. We're going into warrior one. Hands up, warrior one. Nice. And then warrior two, so open on up. Shoulders nice and wide. Arms are stretched out. That knee, you should be able to see your toes. Those fingers are pulling in either direction. Your hips are facing towards the long side of your mat. And peaceful warrior, so you kind of bend forward. That back hand, the left hand can go down your left leg, or you can grab for that pocket. And you're bending in your right leg more. Peaceful warrior. And come back to warrior two. Let's go to triangle. So you're going to bring your right leg in and you're going to take your hands out. This is a good place for a block. If you have a block or book, anything to help you, you can put this on the inside of your foot and it assists you with that triangle. And you know, the block, you can do it on either side. The block has different levels. So it just depends what kind of level you need on it. And this is a thicker block. So I have another set of blocks too that are not that thick. So triangle pose. And if you don't have a block, make sure you're bending that knee. You don't need to lock out your knee. And that's in both positions. You don't need to lock out your knee. Your hand can come on the front of your leg, wherever it feels good. Unless you can get it down to the ground, flat, or put it on your leg. That left arm is open. Beautiful. Let's take that left hand down. We're going to come up on the ball of your left foot. Right hand goes up. twisted. Nice. And put those hands down. We're just going to get another little stretch right here. Yes. Hands are nice and open. Beautiful. And step on back. Vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Nice. And let's step that left foot forward. Warrior one. Warrior one to warrior two. Remember, we're opening up in the front. The knee. Peaceful warrior. Grab for that pocket or down that leg. You'll see me I do mudras, so it just comes really naturally to me to I don't think about it. I just put my hands into those positions. I can talk about that later, or ask me in the comments, or hit me up online and I can talk about it more. But it's something that comes with your practice and just your intention. So those intentions. And let's come back to warrior two. And let's go to triangle. And sometimes you might need to bring the back leg forward more, just for stability and other stuff. That's totally fine. Demo with a block. Remember, you can turn it. It could be right here. It could be right here. Or you turn it to the other side. Nice. And then that right hand down, up on the ball of the right foot, left hand in the air. And take that hand down, that left hand. Nice little stretch right here. And step back, vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. Rejuvenation through every breath. I know you guys feel that. I know y'all feel that. Couple more breaths. Bend your knees. And step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Fold. Rise all the way on up to the top. Nice little stretch right there. Beautiful. Hands to heart center. Nice. Let's turn and come to the long side of our mat. We're going to do some of our side stretches and then come down to the mat and do some different stretches. We'll do some standing series and then come down to the mat. So, always, if something doesn't feel comfortable, you can always come in some more. So do make sure if something doesn't feel good, adjust, because you don't want to injure yourself. You do not want to injure yourself. All right, so we're going to do some side stretches. So take your hands out. They're going to come to your hips. And we're going to fold. So breathe in. Kind of go back and fold. So your hands can come all the way underneath. So this might feel good. Maybe it doesn't. You can always, I'm just going to talk about some different positions you can grab. You can grab your 2 big toes right here and come down more. Maybe the top of your head comes to the mat. You can bring your feet or your hands to align with your heels. If you have an inversion practice, right here is a good position that you can go into your tripod. But overall, keep breathing. Do what is good for you in your practice. I always feel rejuvenated doing an inversion. And going to power yoga class in Charleston, South Carolina, the studio would be mat to mat. So maybe 30, 40 people in this small studio. We're all sweating next to each other. And you still do inversions because when you're that centered and you're practiced and you know you can do it, you can do it. So come to neutral position and put your hands on your waist, come up halfway, and then all the way on up to the top. Beautiful. So if you need to, you can bring your legs in a little bit. Next position, we're going to put our hands behind your back so you can clasp them. You can do prayer behind your back. Do prayer hands or grab opposite elbow. We're straddling the mat. And we're going to fold here in a second. So breathe in. That was not a breathe in. All right, breathe in. And fold. And up halfway. And rise all the way on up. And next we're going to take our hands together behind our back. So take them together. You can do opposite thumb. So you can cross your fingers a different way. So our hands together behind us. We're going to kind of just stretch it out right there. So your chin is looking up. We're getting a nice little stretch right here. Doesn't have to be too deep. And then fold forward. Maybe you're really flexible right here. And your shoulders can go on the ground. You know, some people can get in that position. Or you can just have more mobility right here. Or maybe you don't. So just honor wherever you are. And come up halfway. And all the way on up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's do a vinyasa. So back to the top of the mat. And you can take your vinyasa at your pace. So go right ahead. It's a good time to think about the practice and memorization. You can watch me do it if you'd like, but I honor you to do your vinyasa on your own. When you're in your down dog, we're going to come down to our knees. And we're going to take our right leg forward. We're going to do a little half stretch right here. This is another good place for blocks. So if you don't feel comfortable right here, you could have your 2 blocks and put your hands on them. Of course, I only brought 1 block in. Always in yoga class, I grab 2 blocks. You know, sometimes I just hand out 1. I'm like, I'm always gonna need two. Anyway, your block can be right here and help you into that half split. So we're doing half split. And if it's in your practice, you can do full split right here. That half split, you can come back like this. You want to push that right side back. You're going into your full split. And come back to a neutral position. Come out of your splits. And just come, or just move forward and back a little. Yes, and then come forward in this position. Our left hand's on the ground. Right hand comes up in the air. So we're getting a little twist right here. Maybe you can grab your foot. If you have a strap, this is a good place to use a strap right here. You can release, no slingshot. Open that hand up, right hand down. We're going to open up the right foot. So you're like leaning on your right foot, or your right foot is the pad is up, and you're just kind of, it's a different stretch. And if you need to, you can always take your right hand and just kind of push out of that knee. Or you don't. You don't have to push anything. We're opening them hips up. Nice. And release that slowly. Nice. And do a vinyasa. Nice. Down dog. The left side. So take that left foot forward. You're going to go into your half splits. Half splits. Half splits is definitely a journey. And you can stay in this position or you can go into full splits, whatever is in your practice. These positions are definitely a full journey, and always honor when you see other people doing things you're like, wow, with practice, you're right up there with them. We're right where everyone is where they're supposed to be. Everything is a journey. So never compare yourself. You accept, learn, and grow. And come back to your neutral position. Nice. And the right hand is down, left hand up. Nice. Maybe you can grab that foot. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's all good. Release it, no slingshotting. And then open up that left foot. You're on the side of the foot. Beautiful, up straight. And vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And let's come into child's pose. I haven't given you a child's pose yet. And let's get this child's pose. Get that breath work in. Release, relax. Breathe. Keep breathing. And let's come onto our back. So we're just going to come onto our back. Come on down. Let's do bridge pose. So I'll show you something else that you can do with the block. I've talked about it before. So hands by your heels, and you can push on up. If you have a block, the block can go underneath your mid-back. This is a supported bridge. Maybe you want it up higher. You can scoot your feet in a little more. And you can make the block go up to the highest side instead of the short side. And come on down. Nice. We're going to do 3 more. So you can do bridge. If you'd like to, you can try, or you can do will, whichever feels good for you. So come on up again. Bridge number 2, or will. Keep breathing. And release on down. Get prepared again. Bridge or wheel number 3. And push on up. Number 3. You can come up onto your heels. You can bring up a little more height in your position. If you're in bridge or wheel, come up onto those toes. And come on down. And guess what? Last one. You ready? Last bridge or wheel. And push on up. Bridge or wheel, whatever works for you. Do the practice. You will be the practice. And release. Come on down. Beautiful. You look great over there. And let's do some stretching. So we're going to take both of our legs out to the side. Our shoulders are down on the ground. You can put both of your hands on the ground. Your legs can be bent or straight. Bent or straight. Or you can straighten your leg out and find what feels good to you. That right hand can be on top of your knees, and breathe. Eyes are looking at the opposite hand. Nice switch. So we're going to release and go to our other side. Nice. And come back to neutral. Let's do Baddha Konasana. So bring the heels of your feet together. Your legs are out. It's like a diamond. You can put your hands on top of your thighs and push down if you'd like to. Whatever feels good. You can give no push or just very light. You'll know what your body wants. Nice release. And just close those legs on up. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes just to have some final movements. So if you have wall space, you can always put your feet up the wall. I like this. This is an inversion. You can put your feet up the wall. If you'd like to do some inversions, you'd like to do another vinyasa, whatever you'd like to do, this is your time. So go right ahead, take that time. When you really find what other things you like to do in yoga, you really start focusing in to learn more about that. So. Start making your way back into a neutral position onto your back. When you make it onto your back, you can go into Shavasana. So you can just lay on your mat, arms out, relaxing. You can wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your fingers and roll to one side. Take your time. And when you're on your side, you can push up onto up into a seated position and just have a seat and take your hands. You can put them on the tops of your legs. You can sit in an easy position or whatever feels good. You can keep your eyes closed or you can keep your eyes open. We're going to take our hands to heart center. And let's end class with an Om. We started with the Om. We're going to end with an Om. So I'm going to have a message for y'all too after our Om. So hands to heart center. Let's breathe in. Release out. Breathe in. The light in me shines through you. Thank you so much for joining me. Ashe, everyone. A message that I have for us is support. We're here to support each other. Support is huge. Okay. Ask for support, lean into support. Because if you got it, you got it. You know, not everyone has support. Rejuvenation, support. This is our last class before the new year. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me and just being here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share the message. I made a post on Instagram. So after the class on YouTube, I will update the description. So you can always reach out to me on Instagram or shoot me an email, whatever works. Thank you so much for joining. Happy New Year. 2023, y'all. Stay grounded. Okay, that's all I have to say. Stay grounded. Stay focused on you. Work on advancing yourself. Because support, rejuvenation, we got to keep going. Okay? Just remember that. Things aren't going to get easier. But you know what? That is life. And you are showing up. I'm over here talking. All right. Thank you, YouTube, so much. Have a good, happy New Year.